Hey, welcome to another Boostlet production. I'm Brian, and tonight we're going to be doing my audio essay revisions. So I've got it open in Audacity right here. Clock's in at what looks like 5 minutes 33 seconds, something like that. Um, and we're going to be doing a few different main things. First, we're going to be looking through an edited copy of my transcript. I've got that right here. Professor Anderson made that for us, and it's really helpful. Thank you for that. And we're going to be tightening up some of my language, just some formatting and dialogue concerns, and we're also going to be picking out a different piece for the end. So I closed out my first draft with a speech from President Obama speaking about the environment, and I chose that because I wanted to include someone else besides me and besides me speaking, and I decided that if I wanted to do that, I wanted to have it be someone important, someone authoritative. But in hindsight, and thanks to the comments from Professor Anderson as well as some of my classmates, it might not be the best way to close out the piece because it's not super relevant to Long Hair, which is the poem that I chose, and as well as what I was talking about, which is deep ecology and other things like that. So we'll be picking out another speech. We're going to be looking at probably some TED Talks videos about the environment, and we're going to be editing that, and then we're going to segue by reworking some of the dialect there. And yeah, those are going to be the main things. It's going to be picking out that piece at the end. We might layer some sounds over each other, play them at the same time. I might actually have to end up reverting to an older copy of my draft because this one I titled it Master, like Master Recording, because I basically compiled everything together, and you can actually see those black lines right there. Those are the merge points when you take two different recordings. So like these two parts, this part, and everything past that black line up to there, and you composite them together. And I did that just to clean it up and make it easier to work through, but since I want to re-record some of these parts, I might have to end up splitting things back up again, so I'll probably look at an older version I have and work things from there. But yeah, so the first thing we're going to do is re-record some of my dialogue, but that can be a little challenging to do with while recording my revisions at the same time. I tried and it didn't work out, so I'll be right back after I re-record some of that audio. Hey, I found it. So this is an earlier version of my audio essay that is broken up sequentially into parts. Like I said, I originally compiled, or I ended up compiling everything into the master recording after the fact, but the nice thing about when it's broken up into parts like this is that I can see each sound individually. So like right here, I titled this one Cat Sounds, and it sounds of cats meowing. So if I want to quickly delete the cat sound, I can just do this, click that little delete button, and it's gone. Boom. And we will end up taking that part out. And so this is a nice way that I can re-record the dialogue without having to use the zoom tool to like get into the nitty-gritty of where everything actually is in the master copy. And then we'll go back and probably make a new master copy. So that's what we'll be doing. All right. Hey, so right now I'm in the middle of re-recording my dialogue, and I re-recorded the first two parts. I just retitled them. I call the first part New Intro since it's my new version of the intro. I find it's really helpful to just title your tracks as you're working with them because it's easy to lose track of what they are. No pun intended. It's easy to forget which ones they are. So one thing I'm doing after that is I take the time shift tool right up here and I just select a track like this new Gary Snyder and I move it up to line up with the first track, the new intro. So that's just something that I'm doing as I'm going along, and helps keep everything in order and makes it easier to navigate my Audacity project. And a nice thing I like is if you see this black line right here, that line break tells you where the old track or the first track ends and your track right after that begins. So it's handy when even when you have everything lined up like that, if you forget what is what, or you just need a reminder, you could be like, oh, there's a line break there, there's a new track. Hey, so right now I'm looking for an audio piece that will be a good substitute for the Obama clip that I had at the end before. So I've been looking through post-humanism videos and animal studies videos, and eventually I found this. It's called Wild Deer Bonds with Human. It's from a PBS Nature documentary. I'll give you a little preview.
Hey, look here. When getting close to other animals, I've always tried hard to never use my human voice. But with these mule deer, I immediately recognized they were somehow acknowledging their names and responding appropriately.
So one thing that I had to keep in mind here was that I needed, purely audio, not video, because while we've been working with a lot of projects this semester that have combined sonic and visual elements, this is strictly an audio piece. So when I'm watching these videos, I have to keep in mind that I won't be able to see the video on screen, and neither will my listeners. So it's important to make sure that the audio from the video that we're choosing can stand on its own, and you don't need the video to back it up contextually. Like, it has to be able to make sense, just as the sonic portion. So I do think this is a good audio piece to use. So what I'll end up doing is going to a website I've been using through this semester. It's called clipconverter.cc. And what it does is you can take a YouTube URL, copy it, and then paste it into here, and you click continue. And then you can either convert it into an MP3, an MP4A, an AAC, which are all different audio file types, or you can convert it into different video codecs. But here we're just going to need an audio file, so I'll just choose MP3 because it's small size and easy to work with. And a nice thing I like about this website is that you can choose where you want to start and end in the video. So, for example, while this is a nice video, a lot of it, there's no speaking, it's just kind of like guitar sounds and like background noises and things like that. And it's not really helpful for furthering my essay. So I found the best places were from 34 seconds into 123. So using this site, I can choose convert from 34 seconds to 1 minute 23 seconds. And then you click start. It goes through this little spiel. And there we go, download. So now that my video has downloaded, I'll go ahead and import it into Audacity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, Import, Audio. Then I'm going to find where it is, and it is on desktop. And here's the file, so I'm just going to click Open. Boom, there it is. Right here it is muted because I was soloing my work in progress. So let's listen to what it sounds like.
Raggedy Ann's daughter, Ragtag, was also a breakthrough deer. She allowed me to touch her, of course, but the phenomenal thing with Ragtag was that she was the first deer to...
Yeah, I think that can stand on its own. I think that can be used. You know, I think it'll make sense with some little bit of explanation what's going on there. And that's my next step. I'll be taking that and I'll use the old time shift tool there to drag it into my project, like so. But I'll have to be doing some explaining before then, so we'll be doing that next. Hey, so I think I've got a workable copy of my audio essay here. I broke up everything into 2 tracks, so this top track here has the majority of my spoken voice and audio clips that I used, as well as some outside clips of voice that I wanted to include. And the bottom track highlighted here has most of my sound effects. And the reason I broke it up into 2 tracks is I wanted to fade in and fade out some of the sound effects that I used before, because when I was thinking about things I wanted to improve about my original audio essay, is I noticed some of the sound effects I had used were a little jarring coming in and out. There's just a little bit of they're just a little too sharp, so I had to change that. And then so how I did that by highlighting the sound and the part that I wanted to fade in. So we'll just show you how this sounds. Welcome to Loose Lip Production. I'm Brian here, and I highlighted that sound. And if you look, you can see those sound waves fade in intensity over time. And the way I did that was I did go to Effect, and then fade out, and like that. And you can see it happen there again. They fade out in intensity over time, right? And that makes it really nice sounding, not too jarring, just a nice way to ease in. And then this sound is really quiet as opposed to those birds crackling. I believe this is the mosquito sound. We'll have to see. Yeah, that's mosquito sound. So yeah, we'll zoom out a little bit. You can see, yeah, it's got a nice even build up and crescendo, and then dies back down in intensity, and that's because I applied the fade in and fade out sound a bunch of times, and I was really trying to replicate that sound that you get when a mosquito, is buzzing right there in your ear. You hear it, and it's almost immediate, right? Like it's just silence, and then suddenly you hear that buzzing sound. So I wanted to replicate that, and I used that using the fade in and fade out tools, and it looks like we're good. I hope this video was informative if you're undergoing your own audio essay revisions, or you wanted to know more about the process I took making my audio essay revisions. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.